Hello Sagittarius. This is Inspire 2016 with your weekly tarot reading for the week commencing the 23rd of August until the 30th of August 2021. The first card for you is representing, how do you feel about yourself? Your card is the Five of Pentacles. This card typically points to a time of financial strife, poverty and adversity, and indicates that you have suffered a significant financial loss or failure. This card shows the many faces of material misfortune and lack, including loss of funds, general poverty, illness, unemployment, and solitude. If you have suffered a loss, know that there are people around you who are willing to help. There is always a solution and always a way out. So either open your eyes and go to it, or close your eyes and let the inner light guide you. Often, what has caused these financial problems is a matter of your own emotions. Greed will lead to loss, anxiety will lead to error, possessiveness will lead to solitude. By focusing on the material, you lose sight of your spiritual development. You may be rich for a while, but all will be lost if you learn nothing. On a psychological level, the Five of Pentacles may indicate difficulty with your relationship to money and material things. If money becomes the primary motivating force in life and the gauge by which you judge your worth, the lack of it may produce anxiety and a sense of being excluded from the good things money can provide. For example, if you are unfortunate enough to encounter financial difficulties such as the loss of employment or an investment gone belly up, you may fall into the trap of losing faith in your ability to recreate a positive financial situation for yourself. Therefore, you should not only consider your actual financial circumstances but also your attitudes toward money. What fears do you have around money and wealth? Are you anxious about never having enough, or do you have faith in your ability to manifest what you need to live a prosperous, fulfilled life no matter what your circumstances? Often wealth is based as much on your psychological state as your actual financial state. In a world that often equates success with financial wealth, the loss shown on the Five of Pentacles can be a humbling blow to your self-esteem and sense of self-worth. This loss can occur in any number of ways, but even though an external event may seem to be the cause, this card often reflects that the loss is something you have brought upon yourself. There is a spiritual loss that often precedes or accompanies loss of material wealth. The Five of Pentacles can also point to a time of being alone, feeling abandoned, ignored and unwanted. You may be excluded from group events or you are being ostracized by others. You are in desperate need of support and comfort from those who actually care. The second card for you is representing, what do you want most right now? Your card is the Ace of Cups. This card represents the beginning of love, happiness and compassion. It can indicate the start of a new relationship, be it a friendship or a romance. This is one of those relationships where you feel butterflies in your stomach and you are so pleased to have met someone with whom you can share a special connection. The water in the card reflects the flow of emotion, and thus the Ace of Cups suggests that positive emotion and energy will be created between two people in a way that leaves you feeling good about yourself and life in general. You need to experience the feeling of new love or of giving and receiving unconditional love. Give and accept love on a new level and open your heart to what is around you. Your loving ways will magnetize love to you. This card often means that love is the essence of the situation. It may or may not be romantic love. Look for ways in which you can begin to connect with others. Do you have someone to forgive, or do you want to ask for forgiveness? Can you set aside your anger and find peace? Would you like to drop your reserve and let your feelings show? This is a peaceful time in your life, so use it and make peace with friends or yourself. The Ace of Cups is also about creative expression, particularly where there is an opportunity to allow your emotions to shine through. You are very open to experiencing your inner feelings and sharing them with others. You may be inspired to start a new creative project, take up an art class or two, or even engage in interpretative dance. You are at that point in your life where you feel comfortable with who you are and what you feel, and you are not afraid to express that part of yourself to others. You see new potential in allowing your creative juices to flow, and as such, you are open to new possibilities and stimulating your imagination to allow your talent to unfold. There is certainly a generous, compassionate component to the Ace of Cups. This is a time of giving, not taking, and offering yourself to a new opportunity to help others. You have the power to bring great happiness to others and to share your contentment and positive energy. You will also find that the more you give, the more you receive on multiple levels. The Ace of Cups often points to fertility. From a very literal point of view, this means that the Ace of Cups can indicate conception, pregnancy or birth. There may be the birth of a new idea or a spark of new inspiration. It can represent the beginning of a project in which a great deal of loving and creative energy is invested. The third card for you is representing your fears. Your card is the King of Pentacles. This king may show some possible downsides or character traits to be aware of. He can show an excessive interest in material things, including good food, wine or sex. These can be fun but can also be taken to an extreme. He can also be very stubborn and traditional about some things, which could be exasperating. He also expects to be king of his castle, and is possessive about his home and things. The King of Pentacles is a man who will do anything for money. He is impressed by other people's status and social position and will readily say yes to any requests from those above him. At the same time, he dismisses those who do not hold the same level of authority and status, and may come across as a snob to others. He is constantly name-dropping and trying to prove himself by bragging about the people he knows. This king can be either a workaholic or an extremely lazy man who expects others to look after him financially. He may care only for his possessions, and uses other people to gain them. He may be someone who marries for money, leaving the person only when he has gone through all of their resources. The King of Pentacles can be highly rigid in his approach. So when this king shows up in a reading, look at your life. Are you feeling stuck in a rut? Having your feet on the ground is a good thing, but everybody needs to lighten up once in a while and stick their heads in the clouds, even if it is just for a breath of fresh air. This card may indicate fear of commitment or a strong desire not to be committed to anyone. You may have thought you met the man of your dreams or your future husband in this person, but you have quickly come to realize that he is not what you are looking for. He may not be as reliable or dependable as initially thought, and instead he has become overly controlling, authoritative and possessive in your relationship with him. Similarly, your partner, who is normally there to provide for you and protect you, may recently be going through a difficult period, and now the tables have turned. Up until now, you have seen him as your rock. Someone who is incredibly well established, accomplished, sturdy, stoic, proud and successful. However, now you must be the rock and the firm foundation, supporting your partner while he regains his strength and courage. There may be increased instability and uncertainty over the coming months. In a family relationship, the King of Pentacles can indicate the possibility of familial abuse, particularly through misuse of power, authority and control. He may be highly disciplinary, rigid and inflexible, failing to show his love through positive means and only suppressing the spirit of others. The fourth card for you is representing what is going for you. Your card is the King of Cups. This card indicates that you feel very emotionally balanced and in control. You have a very deep understanding of your feelings and emotions, and are able to connect with this when necessary. As you deal with some of the scenarios that life throws at you, draw on this deep emotional maturity to help you navigate these challenges. Also, know that this is an incredible gift you have, and be open to sharing your emotional stability and calm approach with others. If you are facing challenges, then the King of Cups is an indication that you must create balance in the realm of the emotions. The King of Cups represents compassion, one of the most powerful and beautiful qualities of the human spirit. Ask yourself, how can I develop a stronger awareness of the unconscious without being overwhelmed by its power? How can I develop a stronger sense of compassion without falling into the trap of sentimentality? The King of Cups encourages you to be considerate in your dealings with others and as you counsel others. You may need to understand why strong feelings have surfaced and how to best cope with them. It is important that you do not repress emotions but instead explore them with an open heart and an open mind. Sometimes, the King of Cups can represent an older male who may appear in your life. This card represents a man of business, law or divinity, who is kind, considerate and willing to take responsibility for his actions. He is paternalistic but in a sensitive, generous manner, and he enjoys the quiet power associated with providing loving energy to others. He is able to listen mindfully to others and he responds calmly in a crisis. He uses diplomacy rather than force, and reached out to help, not to stifle or have it only his way. The fifth card for you is representing what is going against you. Your card is the Four of Swords. This card can indicate that you are feeling restless and wanting to do everything at once. Even if your body is telling you that you need to rest and relax, your mind may be pushing you forward, trying to accomplish a long list of tasks. You may be getting quite sick or stressed as a result, so it is vital that you force yourself to pause and take it easy to ensure that you do not become completely run down and exhausted. You may also be trying to avoid any period of contemplation or meditation on a particular issue because you are worried about what it might bring up. You need to return to the energy of the Three of Swords and confront the pain and grief that exists within your heart. You need to experience that pain as it is preventing you from being able to move on. Once you have experienced it, it will begin to subside and you will be able to live a more fulfilling life. The Four of Swords can also represent stagnation and a lack of action that is leading to increased frustration. For example, a long-term marriage is no longer progressing and is spiritually and emotionally empty. You may need to take a break from this stalled situation and come back to it when the energy is flowing better. Similarly, the Four of Swords suggests that you are feeling frustrated with the lack of progress and change in your life. Many things have stood still or have failed to change in the way you were hoping they would. Part of this lack of change, however, is as a result of your passive approach. There may have been situations that were frustrating to you or that you were unhappy with, but you may have opted to just sit it out and hope that they would eventually change, rather than taking action to create a more desirable outcome. The last card for you is representing the likely outcome that you may have. Your card is the Six of Swords. This card shows that you will need to make a regretful transition, as a likely result of the decisions you make. You know that in order to move forward, you must leave something important behind, and while you do this with some regret, you know that in the long term it is the best option for you. There are times when you will be forced to let go of something to which you have been attached, and the process of letting go is often quite challenging. However, The sadness of your loss will soon be replaced by greater clarity, bringing about a renewed acceptance of change. Do not be afraid to let go of whatever it is that is holding you in the present or the past. Instead, look to your future and choose the best option that has the greatest long-term potential. There are going to be some hard decisions and some compromises that you will need to make, but this is ultimately a rite of passage that will take you into a new phase of your life. You need to realize that you are now headed towards a much better position in life. You have endured, or are currently enduring, a difficult life transition, but as a result, you will be more able to deal with what may come. Do not dwell on the past or what you have left behind. Instead, use this as an opportunity for changing your beliefs about yourself, moving away from whom you used to be and towards whom you really want to be. Sometimes the only way to solve life's problems is to leave them behind you and go somewhere new to start over. While it may feel as though you are giving up or being a coward, escape is often the only approach left when all others have failed. The important thing now is that you chart a new course that will lead to greater happiness and joy. The Six of Swords also shows the need to draw upon a state of mental clarity, logic and objectivity in order to examine where you have been and where you are going. This mental clarity will also serve to smooth the way ahead, and make the passage from negative to positive as peaceful as possible. You can use your intuition to guide you through easy situations and call upon your impartial and analytical nature when it is needed for a more complex decision. Last but not least, the guidance card for you is the Strength. The Golden Rule asks us to treat others as we would like to be treated ourselves. When you show kindness and respect to those around you, they are drawn to you as a pillar of strength. Having the courage of your convictions will get you through any challenge, great or small. You are a very sensitive and caring soul. This is a strength, not a weakness. Don't be afraid to show your empathy for others, while also standing up for yourself should you need to say no. Our fairy stands with the lion and the lamb, symbolizing that there's strength within gentleness. Additional meanings of this card: the power of kindness, forgiving yourself and others, overcoming challenges through grace and willpower, having patience with those around you, believing in yourself.
I hope that you enjoy everything, and if you like the reading, just please click subscribe and you will get instant notifications every time we publish a new video right to your YouTube. Thanks.